Hello, everybody. We are live once again on the Unicorn Readers Club.
Yes.
And I hope everyone is well and everyone had a very good weekend and just waiting for some people to join. And
It
yes,
was a good
Neelam.
weekend.
Yes, Neelam. Wow.
So, how did you celebrate your Holi, Ash?
Oh, we had, this time we had a beautiful bonfire in my society. And yeah, I just went and had a great time there. It was very good. And
Wow.
of course, um, this is a time of the year when the season is changing, everything is changing, and I think everyone celebrated Holi after a very very long time. So
Two
I'm
years.
definitely, yes, 2 years, but I'm definitely happy that. How was your Holi? How did? I'm sure उधर भी बहुत गर्मी शुरू हुई रहेगी अभी.
Yeah, it is actually 35, 34 degrees now, and it's getting hotter day by day. But yes, my son was actually, he's a Holi fan, so he waits for Holi
Wow,
more than Diwali. So he was
wow,
waiting, he was counting days, and वो एक दिन पहले ही अपने cousins के पास भाग गया to
क्या
celebrate
बात
Holi.
है, क्या बात है, अमेजिंग,
So
अमेजिंग.
this is how he is, and in the society, yes, there was a lot of dhoom dhadaka, music, dance, everything. But yeah, I'm a little, I keep away from all the shore sharaba.
Shor
But
Sharaba,
yes,
similar with me. Similar with me. So even
yeah,
I'm not that kind of a person who will, I have most of my celebrations are very quiet
quite,
and
yeah,
with a very close circle. And otherwise,
yeah.
I'm home. I'm just, having my time, probably reading something. But
I
I
did
like
the
to fest.
same. So what I did, yes, I like the spirit of the festival because
Yes,
it the festival reminds me of forget everything, just be yourself,
absolutely.
break every barrier in you and
Yes.
emerge
True.
as a new person every time. So yes, the message is very beautiful
The
of the
message is beautiful.
festival. Yes.
Yes, yes.
So what I do, I usually cook a lot of food. So this year also I cook a lot of food because incidentally it was my nephew's birthday as well, and he's only 10
Lovely.
years old. So I had kept a surprise party for him at my place. So this is how
Wonderful.
I celebrated with my family, friends.
Yay. That's so lovely. And I think by now we have people joining in. We have two people joined in. So yes, let us begin with Dan Dan, the Atomic Habits. Neelam,
By James
as
Clear.
I'm yes, and as much as I'm reading this book, मुझे और भी अच्छा लगने लगा है because I feel it's very systematically put.
Mm-hmm.
And the whole concept of like today, so for all our people who are watching us, we are now going to look at chapter 5, which talks about the best way to start a habit.
Best way to start a new.
Yes. So I think for me, a lot of time in my last few years, I have trained myself to change a lot of habits, and it was not easy. It was definitely not easy, but slowly, gradually, I have made. And I always talk about the habit of sleeping early, which I recently cultivated, very very recently. And I was told by a lot of my friends who are yoga practitioners and all that, Ashwini, try to make this habit of sleeping early. It will change your life, and it truly has. So but what I like about James Clear is he puts up in very simple manners about how you can change into good habits. So
Mm-hmm.
without talking more on this, I'm going to go straight to chapter 5, the best way to start a new habit. Okay.
Yes, of course.
So Neelam, do you want to start with it or
Yeah, so the chapter
sure?
starts with example that's given. Actually, it was a study or research conducted in UK by scientists. So where three groups were formed, and the
Yeah.
first group was told that you need to exercise just you need to exercise. Second group was told that okay, you need to exercise, and these are the
Motivations.
these are the benefits of exercise. And and the third group was told that okay, you need to exercise, and these are the benefit of the exercise, and at the same time you also need to write when are you going to exercise. So and the result was were actually very surprising. The first group and the second group, they both were around 30 to 35 to
35 and
40%.
38, yes.
Yeah. And the last group, the third group, they were 91%. So it shows that even if we tell benefit of a habit to a person, the person will not going to get do no doing it. He will not do it unless and until we put something on it. So we need to stack up that habit. So it it brings out the concept of stacking up a habit. So this is how the chapter starts. So now, Ashwini, you tell us about the
Yes.
stacking
So,
of habits.
yeah, very beautifully put up your habit stacking. What is habit stacking? So, he says habit stacking is where you put across things in such a manner that after a particular thing, you will do this. Okay. For example, after a current habit, which you are already doing, I will do a new habit. So, again, I'll give one more example which I have applied this in my life. I always say that after having my dinner and after brushing my teeth and shower and all, I will meditate for 15 minutes before I go to bed. And that is exactly what habit stacking is. So you take a old habit which you're already doing. For
Yeah,
example, you so your James Clear talks about you have a cup of coffee in the morning, which is your current habit. So once you
yeah.
say that after I pour my cup of coffee each morning, I will meditate for 1 minute. Okay? Or after I take off my work shoes, I will immediately change into my workout clothes. Okay? So, habit stacking is where you are taking something which you're already doing and you're
Attaching.
attaching a new habit. Yes, yes. You're attaching a new habit to it. And I think that is so amazing that because you're already doing something, along with that, you can easily, and trust me, it's very easy, it's more easy than you can think of. Because I personally experienced this and I have seen miraculous changes with habit stacking. So he uses the term here. You can use the connectedness of behavior to your advantage. One of the best ways to build a new habit is to identify a current habit you already do each day and stack a new behavior on the top. Okay. So me and Neelam, we always say, okay, after the week ends, we will read the book on live. And that's how our
Yes.
book club came into picture. Okay. So so currently you might be doing something. You can do it along with that. And I think
Yes.
this is one of the best methods which always works. So
Yes. So
yeah.
there is a beautiful diagram that is been put here. So yeah, if we can we share the screen? I have this on screen as well.
All right.
Uh,
I think yes. You have to press. Do you see the share button there?
okay. Just give me a moment. Yeah, share button I can see. I've clicked on that. Share
Yes.
screen.
Yes.
Okay, I'm sharing my screen. Uh, share. So now, can you see the screen now?
Not yet. I think wait. I have to add it to the stream. Yes. I'm adding it to the stream.
Okay.
There we go. Woohoo. Superb.
Yes. So we can see here the habit one is already there. So
Yes.
how? now the habit 2 we are attaching to the habit 1, then habit
Yes,
3 and habit 4. This is how we are going to do it. And if we look at the stack, so it says cue, then craving, then response, and then reward. So reward is the last stage, and that last stage actually leads up to the habit 2. And then
absolutely.
again the circle goes on. So if you could explain it, Ash.
Okay, so now what he's trying to say here is, the cue is where, something which you're doing. Then when we look at the craving, okay, that is where, um, the first behavior, the first thing which is already existing is coming up. Then there is craving, the response, and the reward, which means you are creating a chain reaction.
Yeah.
Okay, so the first behavior is already existing, the new behavior is stacked on top of it, and this will put you in kind of a loop. This is a positive loop, I would say, where you are flowing with the cue craving response reward matrix, and you are attaching a new habit to the old one. Okay,
Yeah.
so for example, um, here he says, after I put my running shoes, I will text a friend or family member where I'm running and how long it will take. Okay, which means he has taken his desired behavior to something which is already doing, and
Yeah.
putting all the different chunks. So, there are different chunks of things. For example, he's put your meditation, he's put your exercise, he's put your gratitude, he's also put for relationship, which means after I get into bed at night, I will give my partner a kiss, because this is he's working on his marriage. He's making sure his marriage is, he's spending that quality time with his partner.
Yes.
Then
Yes.
for workout, the exercise routine is there. For safety, the routine. So he is putting all of these habits, he's putting one after the other in such a manner that all the habits are together here, and he's putting all four habits back to back, and looking at it. So
Yes.
really
So if I
beautifully put.
Yes,
Yeah,
so if I read from the chapter, it says
yes,
overall habit stacking allows you to create a set of simple rules that guide your future behavior. It's like you always have a game plan for which action should come next. Once you get comfortable with this approach, you can develop general habit stacks to guide you whenever the situation is appropriate. For example, if I talk about finance, so he's quoted one example here. When I want to buy something over $100, I will wait 24 hours before purchasing. So this is how important is. So we generally don't think before spending money, and sometimes, and many of the times in my case, I just waste money. So it's not fruitful. So he's saying that okay, wait for 24 hours. So if the craving is still there to spend, and in 24 hours our mind processes the information. Okay, why we need it, why is it
yes,
important, is it not important, can we postpone it, or can we buy
yes,
something else. Yeah.
yes.
So
And
these
Neelam,
these are the kind of things that have helped me actually.
it has. And Neelam, what you read just now about finances, breaking the suspense, the video which I have created for Monday, okay, which is tomorrow, was inspired by something which Warren Buffett had said once, that when you want to buy something, wait for 7 days. He says wait for seven
Mm,
days. Okay, and he says after 7 days, if you still feel like buying, it means you want to buy. If you don't, it doesn't. So, based on that, and that is the approach which I have used in my business, because I often wait before
yes.
making that impulsive payment or buying something. Because sometimes when we women, we see that sale, slash prices, we tend to shop. But
Yeah.
I compulsively stopped this practice, and I built up a place where I really, I use the 7 days wala principle, and that's why I add it to my cart, but I don't buy them. And then after 7 days, I realized that, oh, I don't need this. I remove it from my cart, and this actually
Yeah.
works. So
Yeah,
all ladies
actually.
who are watching, and I'm sure the gentlemen will say that, oh, I hope my wife or my daughter watches it, so that they will make this habit for sure. So, but this really works. This really works.
Yes, yes, of course. So broadly speaking, if we talk about the chapter summary, it says that the first law of behavior change is to make it obvious. Second thing is the two most common cues are time and location. Third,
Yes.
creating an implementation intention is a strategy you can use to pair a new habit with a specific time and location. The implementation intention formula is I will behavior, that is your behavior, at this time, X time is that particular location. So we are just conditioning it, right?
Yes.
So habit stacking is a strategy you can use to pair new habit with the current habit. The habit stacking formula is after this particular habit, I will start this new habit.
New habit.
Yeah. So this is
Amazing.
the chapter summary,
Chapter
and
summary for 5. And I
yes,
love this chapter because this sets the tone for the book. Because now when we are going to talk about chapter 6 he speaks about environment is often more important than even the motivation. So as we know in
yes,
chapter 5 we do habit stacking, but what here he speaks about is create an environment in such a manner that you create an environment for success.
yes.
Okay, for example, if you want to write, make sure you keep a paper and pen in front of you. And here
Hmm.
one thing I always want to add is, um, also make sure that you keep the things you really want to make a habit too close to you, and the things you don't need, of course,
Yes,
that we are going to see in next chapter. But right
yes,
now, if you know, so here he says that if you, so all of you who are on the book club and who are saying, Ashwini, I don't get time to read the book, I so want to be the part of the book club but I don't get time, keep it next to your bed, you will read it.
yep,
And I also use this habit of carrying books in my bag, because if you want to really inculcate the habit of reading, do that. Drink,
yep.
if you want to drink more water, fill up a few water bottles and place them in common locations. I place one next to my desk always.
Same
And
here. Same.
yes, right, right.
It is there.
Awesome. So, here he also speaks about the habit of sleeping early. Um, because here he also says that not browsing on their phones, not watching television, only go and climb on your bed. So here he says that create an environment. This was for people who were suffering from insomnia.
Yeah.
So an environment can really help you change your habits. Okay, now as we spoke about cues, the two main cues are time and location. Similarly, small changes which you do in your day to day life in your environment can influence your behavior
Yes.
and make them obvious. Keep
Yeah.
them in
So
front of you.
it says it is easier to build new habits in a new environment as you won't find old cues. So you need to change your cues. So build a new environment. New environment will always help you inculcate new good habits. So create new routine in new place like a different coffee shop or a bench in the park. So that would actually
Yes,
break the pattern you are having.
yes, yes. So, for example, I always say that okay, I will talk it when we speak to the next chapter, because I'm also going to end up talking about that. Maybe that example I will give once we read this the next chapter about the application which I've done to the life.
Hmm.
So they say that habits become associated not with a single trigger, but with an entire context surrounding the behavior, and the
Absolutely.
context becomes the cue. It is easier to build new habits in new environment because you are not fighting against old cues.
True that.
Superb. Let us go to chapter 7. Now, chapter 7 is
Yep.
connected to the first two. And this exactly talks about the opposite of, as Neelam said when we were discussing this book before this call. Neelam said, oh, this is exactly opposite, isn't it, Ashwini? I said,
Yeah.
yeah, wow, it's actually opposite of it. So here, just like how we say, keep your, like if you are, I keep my gym bag very in a place where I can see it, so that I make a habit of going to the gym. And similarly, I don't keep a TV in my bedroom because for me, sleeping early is important. So I believe that keeping distractions out also help you create new habits. So for all of you who are
Of course.
yeah, so this is exactly what they call as the inversion of law of behavior changes to make it invisible.
Yeah.
Okay. So for example, if you can't get work done, leave your phone outside. If you are feeling you're not good enough, stop watching, following accounts, or keep on keeping on watching social media.
Yeah.
Or if you say, many people ask me, how do you find so much time? And I always say that stop watching TV by 1 hour,
Yeah.
and you will see new things happening. So not keeping the TV in the bedroom will also help you put things out. These are just some examples.
Absolutely. Sometimes these things become so toxic, Ash. It's my
Yes.
personal experience. I used to be on so many social media platform. Nowadays, I'm only on WhatsApp and LinkedIn. But before that, I was there on every every platform, and I used to see the same pictures, same locations. So sometimes, many a times these things motivates you, but
Yeah.
sometimes when you are going through a bad phase in your life, these things actually demotivates you, demotivate you, and they become very toxic.
They
Even,
become toxic.
you become, you want to have all those things in your life, and that
Yeah.
lack mindset, it actually triggers your lack mindset, and it
Absolutely.
actually creates a lot of negativity in your life. I, I was having everything in my life, but still I felt, okay, I'm not having a foreign trip every year. That's the kind of, thinking I was, heading towards to. So
Correct.
that was a time I stopped, watching, going to so
Social
many
media.
platform, social
Yeah.
media, and now I'm much at peace, and I feel happy. So that behavior also has gone out, because I know that even if I, start using all those platforms again, that won't affect me, because now my mind is different. But at that point of
Absolutely.
time, I was in a different state of mind, and those things were actually triggering a lot of negativity in me. But now
Absolutely. I can
i
understand.
i am stable, so I know that. But yes, you are right. In case you do want to, create more time for yourself, spend more time with your loved ones, spend time with nature, spend time with yourself, rather than going to social media. So that would be,
Totally.
actually
And
very
read
different and
books.
loving experience. And read books, yeah,
Read
of course.
books. So this was the advice which was given to me by my teacher when I was really going through a very difficult time in my life, and it was very difficult for me to stay
Mm,
in a positive mindset. And I told her that no matter what I'm doing, it's just not working. So she told me that at this point of time, first and foremost, do not watch a lot of external things. Also, do not talk to a lot of people, probably, because when you talk about your problems to people who are not well versed to advise you, they will put more negative fears in your mind.
yeah,
Instead, rely on books. Make
yeah,
friends with books, because I think there is nothing which a book cannot solve. Kuch bhi ho jaye, a book can always help you. And that's why I always believe that books have given me um, this energy to do what I'm doing right now, and I'm always indebted to them. And that's why I'm encouraging. That's why when me and Neelam decided to start the book club, our main idea was to encourage people to read, so that, and to read more, keep books close to you, keep them right next to you, and say that after I get up, I will read at least 5 pages. That's the practice,
yes.
by the way, I follow. And many of you must be thinking that I don't get time to read the book, but I say, when you wake up in the morning, read 5 pages. Just before you go to sleep, read 5 pages, and 10 pages a day. Imagine how many pages per year
Even a single page would help. I mean,
would help.
start with small things. So start with one page. Even if
Yes,
you read one page, next day you will be motivated to read two pages,
to
and then
read
the,
more.
yeah. So this is how I started, because for a long time even I had stopped reading,
Right.
and there was no book at all with me. I had Kindle, but that was a showpiece only. I never switched it on, and I never because we are not used to of reading through the gadgets and all. So that was not my cup of tea, so I had stopped doing anything. Even if you are uh, listening to books on Audible or any
Yeah.
other platform, that is also a good habit. At least
Yes.
you will get into the habit.
Yes, definitely, definitely. And I think keep all the things which you do not require, keep them out.
Yep.
I think you can keep the distractions away
Declutter.
and
Declutter your
declutter.
life.
Yes, totally. And this is the law. The secret to self control is keeping the things away which are not letting you make the habit. So, that is what is given in chapter 7.
Yeah.
Now, after chapter 7, the here he has made two beautiful tables. The first table is how to create a good habit, and the second table is how to break a bad habit. Now, it's as important creating the good habit as much as it is to break a bad habit.
Yeah.
You can't just keep creating good habits along with bad ones. So you have to actually break the bad habits. So first he says that write down your current habits to become aware of them. Then use implementation intentions. Now this is where we are talking about the what we just began talking about, habit stacking. I will write or I will meditate at this time after. So I will meditate at 8 o'clock in the morning after having my cup of coffee. Okay. And then, of course, designing your environment, which means keep a yoga mat there, probably light a candle, create a nice aroma. I always do that. That
Even I
environment
do that.
will make you feel like, yes, will make you feel like meditating. Now, the second part of this is the inversion, where you make it invisible. So reduce exposure. For example, morning may you wake up and you keep scrolling Facebook or you keep checking emails. I would say switch off your phone at night and put it on only in the morning. Okay, I go to bed with airplane mode on. I don't put my phone on, and I typically do not even indulge in talking with people before I go to sleep, because that's also that stimulates you. Okay, like, now this is
Yes.
not what
Yes.
is written in the book, but I always see that you get very stimulated if you are watching, even when you watch something very um rajasic, if I have to speak in the language of Bhagavad Gita. Rajasic, something very high energy, very passionate. So the Western culture talks a lot about Raja, which is very passionate, and the other
Passionate.
end is Tama, which
Energetic.
is, yeah, and the other end is Tama, which is sleeping and lazing. But if you want to inculcate the habit of meditation, go towards Sattva, which is being steady and being in allowance. Of course, we'll talk about that some other time. And yes, we are having a lot more coming on Bhagavad Gita, which comes on Saturdays. So let's not talk about that. But the reason I spoke about this is reduce exposure to a lot of passionate or rajasic things, and let all that which you do not need go out of your life, and allow
Yes,
yourself to,
absolutely.
yes. Wow. So here he also says make it unattractive, make it difficult, make it unsatisfying. We have a little one here.
Say hi. Say hi to everyone. Just lean down a little bit. So, he's my son. His name is Samar. He's 11 years old. And sometimes he also listens to audiobooks with me.
So Samar, we are live
So,
here. There are so
yeah.
many people watching. So say hi to them.
Hi, all. Say. Yeah.
There are many more. And there will be many more watching it later too. So Samar, you will be the latest
Okay.
member of our आज
Book
मम्मी को
club.
बहुत प्यार आ रहा है.
He wanted to have my phone, that's why प्यार आ रहा था.
So
So now he has
after
my
the
phone.
call.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
So the next thing is he says make it unattractive, make it difficult, and make
Yeah.
it unsatisfying. Now, of course, when we look at inversion, we are trying to, of course, that we will be covering in the next part of it, because here he also speaks about the second law, make it attractive, and which we'll be talking next time. But the first law, which says make it obvious, and the inversion of it, make it invisible, so wonderfully put, because today we spoke about making it obvious and making it invisible, the two ends of the spectrum, right? And I think that is so much to put up, and so much to really learn from.
Yeah.
So I hope all the people who are watching us right now and the people who will watch us later will get more of that.
Of course, Ashwini. So, I mean, I feel so much of gratitude towards the writer of this book,
Yes,
because
James
he
Clear.
has actually caught up the nerve of people like me who are actually very lazy, and I have this habit. I had this habit of, you know procrastination,
We all
and
have, Neelam. We all
yeah.
have.
So I used to think, okay, when this happens, only then I'll start doing that thing. When this does not happen, I will not do it. So this kind of thing, and I knew in my mind, I always knew that this is not going to happen. So it always gave me a reason. Okay, अभी तो ये नहीं हुआ ना, तो मैं ये काम नहीं करूंगी. And this happened in my CA exams also when I was studying. So I knew I had to work hard, study hard, everything. I had to
Yes.
make a disciplined, I had to lead a disciplined life to clear the exams on time. But I was not doing it because there was something else on my mind, and I used to make some bahana. Okay, and जब आप बहाने बनाते हो ना, तो those things actually come true. So when I just before the exam, because I was not prepared, so I just thought, हे भगवान मैं बीमार हो जाऊं तो अच्छा है, and I actually fell sick. And that
That
point
is
of time
what
I
your inner child creates.
yes,
Yeah.
those fears, right? And I actually felt sick, and it was terrible. I had typhoid, and I had to be in bed for like 1 month or so. And then at that point of time, my dad told me कि never ever wish those things which you don't want to happen, because universe is listening to you.
Listening to
And
you always.
yeah, so if you don't want to do CA, leave it right now. But don't do such negative things to yourself. So that was a lesson I learned. But still, that habit, habit of talna is
अब सीए तो
was
बन गए. अब
yeah.
सीए तो बन गए.
सीए बन गए, बट वो प्रॉब्लम हो जाती है ना, अभी भी वो रहता है कि ओके ये होगा सिर्फ. I'll start taking care of my health
Yeah.
once my son's exams are over. So this is a
Yes.
bahana, actually. I can always take care of my health. So this book actually reminded me of the advice my dad gave me. And now I don't put anything on future. So everything is here right now. And if we have the intent, we can do anything.
Yes, absolutely. And now, of course, we have only one Sunday left, which we are also going to meet a lot more people. But we will also talk about make it attractive, make it unattractive, make
Yeah,
it easy, make it difficult, and make it
yeah.
satisfying, make it unsatisfying. I think very systematically put. And I think what I like about this book is he uses the power of contrast to understand habit making. और इतना अच्छा बुक तो मैंने आज तक पढ़ा नहीं है. आई थिंक दिस इज वन ऑफ द मोस्ट अमेजिंग बुक्स विच आई हैव रेड एंड wow. I mean, it's something really wonderful, which I'm still learning, and which I'm also applying to Unicorn Insight and creating habits and stacking habits
So
and
true. Every
so
day we discuss a lot about how to make this initiative Unicorn Insight, which is our, the most, close to heart dream.
close to heart.
You know,
Yes,
it's
and
it's there in our heart. So every day we talk about,
absolutely.
every day we discuss about it. And now, this book actually helps me to, pave a path for that, the vision
Yeah.
that we have created for
Yes.
our
Yes.
unicorn.
And I think a lot of people who are entrepreneurs who are watching us, who are self-employed, basically a lot of people ask me that how do you work when you don't have a boss? Because for many people, I mean, I know a lot of my friends ask me, Ashwini, if you don't have a boss, how do you work? Don't you just do time pass full day? And here is the power of the habit. Because when for all entrepreneurs, it's very easy when you don't have a boss chasing you and you don't have a deadline, like of course, clients, deadlines, and all of that. But even to do day to day planning, and even when you don't have a boss around, what motivates you to work? Okay. So that the habits will keep your work in place. And trust me, even for like, people talk about, like we just spoke about how social media can be bad for us and how social media can actually kill our time. But again, the inversion to that can also be how can social media help you grow?
Yeah.
Okay, so I also decide what time of the day I want to do what on social media. For example, I say, okay, when I wake up, I will make sure I do my all to dos. I'll do all my marketing stuff. I will do what I want to market. In the afternoon, I will do all my follow up calls. After I have my dinner and I sit with my cup of warm water, I will do all. So, these things do help. So, this is what I have applied in my life. And I also talk about, as I said in the beginning of this discussion, that sleeping early was one habit which I cultivated. So I always say that, okay, before I sleep, after I have dinner, after I brush my teeth, I will meditate. After I meditate, I will pray, and then I will go to sleep. And as I started that habit, a lot of things have changed. A lot of people will also see that your weight, um, your weight loss also starts because a lot of people who have gained a lot of weight, it is because of improper sleeping habits,
Yeah.
relate because of which digestion issues happen, because of which a lot of more health issues happen, and because of which obesity comes up. And yeah, so use the power of the atomic habits. So yes, so all of you are watching. If you are watching us now, you can also, as on the WhatsApp group, we have created this chain where we ask you to record a part of the book and send it over. So please feel free to do that too. And well, we will be having our next e get together or the virtual get together next week on this book club. So let us meet, let us talk, and let us share what you liked about the book
Yes.
rather.
Yes. And next week I'll be doing it from Goa.
Ooh. So you'll be really close by to me.
I'm always closest to you,
Of
Ash.
course, वो तो है ही. And yeah, I mean in physical distance also you will be close. So look forward to see you from Goa. Maybe we can have a nice live with the beautiful Goa in the background. What say?
Of course.
Amazing. Have a wonderful time there.
Thank
And for
you.
all our viewers, keep reading, keep watching the Unicorn Readers Club, keep reading books. And if you're not able to read the books, at least watch our videos because that will at least give you the summary of the book. And trust me, you will buy the book and you'll love it. So, on that note, yes, let us call it a day or rather a week, right? And let's begin a new week tomorrow from Monday. Sending you lots of love, best wishes. Thank you for watching this video and bye bye.
And of course, before we leave, special thanks to Monali and Sebas.
Yes,
And
how can I forget Manali and Sivas? Thank you for always being our supporters and all the support you're giving in the form of being the community partners. And for all people watching on Seabuds, if you would like to join the book club,
You can
just
ping
go for
us.
you. Please ping us, or you can get in touch with us through Manali, or you can write below this. And of course, for all the people from Unicorn Insight, all the people who are watching this for the first time, feel free to connect to us. Share what part of the book you like, and thank you for watching.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Bye bye. Thank you.